Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Bridges, your YouTube Bridges channel. Today is a tutorial day. This is the first episode of a series of Bridge Creator extension for Tekla structures back-to-back tutorial. My name is Gabriel Neves and this is the Ministry of Bridges. Let's start with some examples what Bridge Creator can do. So Bridge Creator can extrude, constrain to any road line or place objects constrained to those lines. Those lines can be LandXML file, construction line, or even lines imported using Grasshopper component for Tekla structures. You can do the most complex geometries, including the parabolic variation, longitudinal variation, and you can do these kind of bridges. Here you can see very well, so the curve is following the side of the road and the deck is varying in depth, so it's a double curved. One more example, you can place beams or poly beams constrained to those lines, to those points, and the deck, the superstructure of this bridge was all built with Bridge Creator. And then the bracing was applied after, obviously. So here, precast concrete beams and steel poly beams, the girders. And the Bridge Creator tutorial, I planned for this episode 1, we having an overall view and download from Tekla Warehouse, Tekla User Assistance, install, opening and basics, LandXML, model units and model base point. Then we're going to have a general overview of the user interface, the UI. So saving files, the tabs, general and components. And then before we start, we need to model, to set the model units and setting the project base point. Some examples I'm giving in the very beginning. For the next episode, I'm going to start with the general. So the alignment is the most important data that enters into Bridge Creator, and we're going to explore the read alignment and browse, and as I said before, LandXML file or import 3D polylines using Grasshopper link, or importing alignment using Quadri Connector. We could use any 3D polyline by picking. Then we can preview and have the lines and the project base point. So import, pick, browse, convert, and location by. I will explain everything. And then the tab manage, which is very useful. And here I highlight that draw chainage on alignment, which is very, very important, and probably is the only BIM software capable to do it, because Tekla Structures is not a road or rail software, it is a BIM software. The episode 3, from then on, I'm not sure how many episodes I'm going to have. All depends of the length of the episode. And let's see this example, key sections. I have all the information for add from the library, and then editing the cross section. And editing the cross section is a massive chapter, massive. So I might break this episode in 2 or 3, not to have very long episodes. Anyway, we're going to follow these key points, and these key points will be in every single episode highlighted what the episode is about. So you can then jump to the specific episode that you need, or you can obviously watch the entire tutorial and then go to the next episode and so on. So after that, we're going to have tutorials placing the components, constrained and on those road lines, components or beams, copy, delete, and then the UI of the components tab, the naming, numbering, change station, position, and handles. So it will be a very extensive tutorial, uh, as I said before, back to back, and enjoy the ride. Let's jump now to Tekla Warehouse website, where you can download this extension for Tekla structures. So you need to log in and just do a search of Bridge Creator, and you'll find the tool. Inside the tool web page, you'll have some information, how to download. You can click the like, of course, and then the versions. We always keep the latest version and the details. So every single version we made improvements, and then all those improvements are explained here on this web page. So here the 1.3, and then some very short videos with the tip and tricks, something like that. Then you have the Tekla User Assistance web page with the explanation in depth. Obviously, many of these things I'm going to explain during these tutorials. You just can go and read if you wish. So let's download the tool. I'm going to use Tekla Structures 2021 version, and inside the zip file we have a couple of files. So we have the nodes, the README, the release nodes, and then Bridge Creator demo model. This demo model is the same as the previous versions with some added features because of the parabolic variation. We have the TSEP, which is the installer. And then for the version 1.7, since the parabolic variation is quite complex, the explanation it's really useful, including the equations that Bridge Creator is using to do all those variations. So for the bridge nerds, you have here all the information. Then you have a zip file, other files, and inside this folder, there are some Bridge Creator libraries that you need to place those into the attributes folder of the model, and you have some CSV or text files and spreadsheet with another method to read alignments. It's very complex to create these files. Anyway, it's there if you want to have a look and try to do that way. I think importing the 3D line or even referencing the LandXML file is much easier to do. Let's have a look into the demo model, which is the same as the previous versions with some improvements, some objects added with the examples for the parabolic variation. And then we have the resource folder and that I've created, and the attributes folder. Attributes folder is where every single file that Bridge Creator saves is placed. And then the resource folder, in this case, contains a LandXML file with an alignment and some lines that we can use as example during this tutorial. Right. Now, I have the bridges tab and have my tab. I like to have my own tab. And you can see here, Bridge Creator is not installed. It comes from Tekla Structures already installed. If you have it, uninstall it and download the latest version and reinstall. So in this case, it's not installed, and we can go to the applications and components and check if you have Bridge Creator there and you need to upgrade the version. Go to Manage Extensions, Extension Manager, and then you just uninstall first and then you install. So here you can see the Bridge Creator is not there. So if I needed to remove Beam Extruder, I'll use this method. So since we don't have Bridge Creator on my version of Tekla 2021, I'm going to use that TSEP that I just downloaded and just double click and install. So I want just to have that on Tekla 2021. I don't want the 2022 for now. And I'm going to choose import. Click yes. And then after a couple of seconds, you can close and then choose to delete or keep the file. I like to keep the files anyway, the installers, of course. Now we can go and open Tekla structures. You'll see the Bridge Creator extension being installed. And if I jump into my tab, I will have Bridge Creator there ready to be used. And of course, in the Bridge tab, if you have it, it will be there too, of course. So one way to access, if you don't have the tab and if you don't want to do it, you can go to Applications and Components and just search for Bridge Creator. So here is Bridge Creator. There. Another way to search for the extension is to use that quick search, Bridge Creator, and you'll see Macro Bridge Creator, and you can load it from there. I think it's very useful to have our own tab. It's so easy to prepare those own ribbons. So opening Bridge Creator, and this is the UI, the main UI that we're going to learn. So before we start, there are two things that we need to look. In this case, three things. Sorry, understanding the LandXML file. Many users, they get LandXML files and then it's empty, and it needs to be the road or rail designer when they export the LandXML file from their software. They need to choose the correct information. So LandXML file has all the header and the unit, and then we have the alignments. If you don't have these elements inside your LandXML file, you're not going to have lines. And the alignments then is divided by core geom, which is the geometry in plan, and profile is the geometry in Z, of course. So XY is core geom and Z is profile. And we can see here one line on the very top. Now we have another line, and each line will have core, geom, and profile. So if you get a LandXML file that's not working, open that on Notepad or Notepad++ and just double check you have the lines. Because LandXML can have other features like the terrain or many other information can be inside the LandXML file schema file, of course. Very important then, when you start with the Bridge Creator, is check the model units. Bridge Creator is going to use the model units that you have in your settings. And another important stuff is the project base point, because the road projects are in real coordinates and we want the bridge near the 0, 0, 0, right? So here, let's just check the units and the decimal places. We could use imperial system too, and then we have the project base point, and everything is explained on this Tekla user assistant article, but it's very easy to understand this way. So if I go to the model folder, resources, I have my project base point already on my file, and then I'll explain later how I get that so quickly. So I go to project base points. I'm going to give it a name. So for this tutorial, I might be using two roads. One is called LV, and the other one will be demo project. So for the LV, I need east coordinates and then northern coordinates. So east and north. Just be careful because here the easting is the first coordinate, but if you go to the LandXML file, is the opposite. You have north and easting. So just watch out that. I'm just copying pasting the numbers there, the coordinate, and I'll show you that. So if I go to the very first point of my road, I have there the northing in meters. Very, very important. I'm not sure about the imperial system, but anyway, in metric system, the road is in meters, and Bridge Creator or Tekla, usually when we model in millimeters. So I just copy that information there from the very first point is the northing. So just be aware of that. I'm not going to put that on east. I will place that on northing. So don't do the opposite. It happened. And then I just need to transform that into millimeters, 3 decimal places. Basic, basic stuff, right? Then I'll do the same for the easting, and I can do and check the elevation of the first point. So it's up to you. So copy that and paste there. So very quick this way. We always have the bridge near 0, 0. But honestly, I don't like to have a project-based point with all those strange numbers. I like to round it up. So that is why then I save that information into a text file, and that's it. Usually, this information is placed into the BIM execution plan of a project, so you need to use those coordinates from the BIM execution plan. So now I'm going to create another base point. I want to mix here two projects during these tutorials. And I'm going to call it demo project because this one I'm going to connect with Quadri, Quadri software. So I might show a little bit of Quadri. If you never heard about Quadri, I have a couple of episodes where I demo Quadri, which is very, very interesting software. So I think worthwhile to have a look. So now I have two project base points ready. We have the extension installed, and I need to go to settings, options, and again double check my units. So because I'm working millimeters, I don't like decimal places in millimeters, so no one works with 0.5 millimeters anyway. It's your choice, you can do that, but for the angles, degrees, I like to use 5 decimal places. Right, so I'm just going to apply OK, and this is what Bridge Create is going to read. So, as I said before, if you are in Imperial System, just change that to Imperial System, and Bridge Creator will read feet or feet in inches and all that stuff you guys are using. So here I'm not going to explain yet. I'm just going to show you after we add some information, we save a file, and this file then is placed under the attributes folder of the model. You can jump into other model by copying those files and pasting into the different model, and then all your sections are going to be there. And the same with the library. So if you have a library with n cross sections, you copy or share that and place that into the attributes folder of another model, and it will be made available. Here loading, and you see the information was there, right? So if you open again, it will be a blank page, but then you always can load whatever you want. Very quick overview of Bridge Creator. We have this alignment area and the key section area. So we read the alignment, and then we add a key section. We can preview everything we are doing before we create the object. Just this is the section preview, and then the creation with the shape name, the station, start station, end station, and so on. Then inside the alignment, we have a button that is going to help us to read the alignment, and the button more, which does lots of cool stuff here. We can convert files into Bridge Creator feature files, lines, and then we can work with it. Here into the cross-section editor, we can add the library. So I'm just going to put here section, and then I'm going to edit the section. So here is the cross-section editor. We're going to check all that, and then I can copy, select, copy. Now I can copy the section and then change the section, or I can delete. Or I can add to a library. But before that, I need to create a library. I don't have any. And I'm going to create here my library, which will be empty because I'm just starting it. And now just imagine I changed the cross section, and now I want to save that for later use. I add that into that library. So you can have your company library created this way and then shared and improved and so on. So all that is then deleting. It's on this key section area. Then we have this component tab, which will place Tekla components or Tekla beams or polybeams constrained to the road or certain points. And you'll see here the cross-section has all these points. Imagine you can place a post or vertical post constrained to that point 6, and then you have the position and the handle, and you can manipulate all that. Or you can place a beam or a polybeam along or constrained to that point. So you can imagine how easy it is now to place the longitudinal railing for the vehicle parapet, for instance, because you constrain that to certain points. This is the episode 1. We just checked the basics, overview, download the warehouse, Tekla user assistance, install, opening, and then the basics of LandXML file, model unit, and model base point. Then the general overview and just to introduce the tool to you, and then kind of appetizer for what's coming for the next, I don't know, n episodes, maybe 10. The next episode will be all about the alignment and to bring alignments into Tekla structures. Is a very important topic because it's one of the most challenging things is to have our road alignment inside Tekla structures. Not only a 3D polyline, because a 3D polyline is not a road alignment. So we have even the station or the chainage, the length of the line is not matching, obviously, the chainage, because the station or the chainage is the horizontal projection of the line. So next episode will be all about those alignments and importing different ways and placing the display of that information into the road alignment. Very useful, even looking for layout points in certain chainages, or inquire a point and get the station from that picked point, for instance. I hope you have taken something from today's episode. And let me challenge you to start modeling complex objects like a double curved bridge deck. The next episode will be about road alignment. How is Bridge Creator reading it, and different ways to do it. LandXML files, Grasshopper link, and Quadri Connector. I will be showing it all. Now it's time to say goodbye for today. We'll finish this first tutorial by leaving you with a question. How are you modeling the double curved decks? Use the comments box below and leave your answer. I appreciate if you leave a comment, like, and support your Ministry of Bridges channel by clicking the subscribe button. I know there are more bridge modelers out there. It's all for now, bridge modelers. See you in the next episode, and have a Bridge Creator Day.